Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mental Health Mondays. Today, we're going to play The Test Final Revelation. I don't think I've actually played this one. I played the other two before they did the update, but this is a new one for me. I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember if I have played it. It's been a long time. But let's get into it without further ado. What do you want, Discord? Go away. Before experiencing the test Final Revelations, it is highly recommended that you play its prequels, The Test and The Test Hypothesis Rising, before venturing into this experience. Same thing from the first two. Already did that. I've already played it. Let's kick it. Well then, let us continue. Who you got this time? You had Fate, and I assume Death was the first one? Maybe not. Maybe it was Time. Please make sure that you answer each question with the utmost honesty and that you take your time to answer questions presented. If answering one question improperly may drastically change your outcome, you cannot go back to answer questions you misanswered. So be sure to take your time. This is of the utmost importance. Let's see what secrets they promise to reveal in this one. When the sun came crashing down, and the heroes fade away, when darkness is all around, and there is no light of day, I will come back for you, so that you never feel alone. My spirits will push through, your heart will forever be my home. And when the world spirals into abyss, I will be standing there, your embrace, so long I've missed. My soul, my love, I bear. And when every nerve has been left deadened, and every ghost has left its shell, I will bring you back to your heaven as you rescued me from my hell. No matter what happens, I will always love you. What's choice? Do you promise? With every ounce of my heart and each drop of my soul, I swear to you, we are going to find a way out of here. Ooh, destiny, actually. I wasn't expecting you so soon. Though I knew that one day we would meet in this room. You see, closely I've been watching you, studying every breath and every move. A few of my former colleagues you may have met, and a slew of questions you've answered without regret. I may be similar, but unlike them still. I'll make you swallow the truth like a bitter pill. I will peel the emotion from your soul and make you eat your feelings whole. The questions I may ask may be hard to answer, but I will cut the truth from you like a cancer. Both of us know why you're here, to open up and cast out fear, to be as honest as you can, to take angel's wings or a devil's hand. And in the end, we both will know how to escape your undertow. Time is on your side, but mistakes are not. Misanswered questions lead to misery rot. Take time to think before you decide. Dig deep for the answers that live inside. You may not go back, you may not return. Once a decision is made, into your soul 'tis burned. But before we continue, just know this. Your dishonesty would be very remiss. If if your answers lack the guidance of truth, then your final destination will be rather uncouth. So, with that being said, I need your heart's honesty. You can run from yourself, but you can't run from me. Ah, honesty, destiny, I get it. Now, let the examination begin. Do you ever feel like you just aren't good enough? Yes, all the time, actually. Do you ever feel like you put more effort into friends or relationships than others put back into you? Actually, yes, it happened just recently, to be honest. Do you ever feel like your life is going nowhere? Yeah, that's why I constantly try to find validation in different things. Do you ever feel like you're trapped in limbo? I feel like you're just trying to call me out here. I don't really like it so much. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by seemingly trivial tasks? Yes, but I think that's my procrastination talking. Are you sometimes afraid of what your future may hold? I think everyone's a bit afraid of what the future holds because the future's unknown. But yeah, I'm afraid. Do you believe that your friends always treat you the way you deserve to be treated? Hell no! I feel like I've been betrayed and fucked with and misunderstood and all kinds of fucked up things by my friends. But the reason my friends is because I don't think it was on purpose. Are you afraid of being the last person alive in your social circle? No. Are you afraid of the existence of an afterlife? That what that mean for you? No. You feel as though you've wanted in life. No. Do you ever feel like you just don't belong? Yes. Do you ever feel like a burden? Yes, all the time actually. Have you ever felt left out? A lot recently. Have you ever felt like a failure? Yes. Have you felt like you just weren't attractive enough? Plenty of times. I'm a guy. We all do that. Have you ever worked yourself sick? Yeah, I worked myself sick with my last girlfriend, but I no longer stress about it too much. Do you ever racing thoughts at night that make it difficult for you to get to sleep? Same scenario, so yeah. Are you afraid to ask for help? Yeah, because that would mean admitting that I'm wrong in certain things, or I can't do it myself. And if I can't do it myself, then I can't do it. It's just that simple. Do you often feel do you feel like people often criticize you? Yes. Back to the nice voice though. Do you ever feel judged by your friends or family? Yes, I do. Do you ever wonder what your purpose is in life? All the time. If you could turn back time for any reason, would you? Oh, of course. Yes, I would turn back time a lot. Would you say that you have many regrets in life? I think everybody has a lot of regrets. I think my regrets are just surface level, but I do have regrets. Does meeting new people for the first time make you uncomfortable? Well, yeah. I don't like meeting new people. Does looking out your window at night make you feel uneasy? No, not at all, actually. It makes you feel at peace. You sometimes double check your doors are locked, even though you're certain that you've already locked them. Well, yes, but that's not out of fear. That's just because I think I don't do it. You ever feel like life is moving too slow? Yes. Do you ever feel like it's moving too fast? Yes. And I know that kind of sounds like a weird thing, but I have both those feelings at different points in my life. Whenever I'm going through a lot of things, I feel like life goes way too slow. And I feel like I've been in the same situation or bad fucked up area in my life for years when it's only been like 2 months. But I also then at that point feel like the good times go by too fast and I don't even realize how long it's been. Do you feel uncomfortable when you're home alone? No. Would you consider yourself to be a thoughtful person? Most of the time, I would. Would you consider yourself to be superficial? No. Do you ever judge others by the way they look or dress? No, not really. Would you consider yourself to be high maintenance? No. Have you ever been bullied by someone you cared about? Yes, I have been bullied. Have you ever been bullied by someone you care about? Not intentionally bully. Do you try to keep a low profile to avoid the attention from others while in a crowded area? Yes. Do you actively try to avoid busy places? Yes, I will not leave my house if there's a lot of traffic or if there's anything that's going on a lot. Would you sometimes rather be alone than surrounded by people you care about? Yeah. Does making phone calls make you feel uncomfortable? Yes. Oh my god. I don't think people understand just how much anxiety calling on phones gives me. Like, yeah, a person's voice can give me relaxation and all that, but even if I like love you, when I get a call, my anxiety spikes and I don't know what's going on, and so I have like brief moments where I think everything's wrong, everything's bad, and I feel like I'm about to get the worst news of my life. And so for the whole first like 30 to 40 minutes of a call, my anxiety just won't go down and I feel like I'm suffocating. Like, you can call me and say that everything is fine, but then my brain still thinks about all these other scenarios about what's going on in the background or what I don't know. Like, I'm extremely weird when it comes to phone calls. Even if it's like sitting in a Discord call, right? If you call me on Discord, I'm not going to really answer. And if I do, that means that I'm like really trying to put you first. That's why I prefer to stay in a Discord channel where I've already been in there and nothing can happen. But I even get spikes of anxiety when people join. And I just try to play it off. But all that to say, yes, I hate phone calls. Just text me most things. Are you sometimes afraid to confront people even when they do something that bothers you? Well, yes, I'm afraid to confront people, but I still do it because I feel like that's the only way to move forward. And that bothers me when people don't want to confront it or talk about the situation. Do you feel uncomfortable when committing to definitive plans for the future? Yeah, I do have problems with committing to definitive plans for the future, but I don't have problems committing to definitive plans that I make, if that makes sense. So if I'm like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'll commit hands down. But if you just kind of spring something on me and say, we're going to do this next week, I will not be okay with committing to it. I'll still say yes, but it makes me uncomfortable. So I'll say no because the plans themselves don't make me uncomfortable. It's when them sprung on me. Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to stay motivated? On certain things, yes. Do you ever fear that you're failing those who care about you most? All the time. And that makes me overthink why I should talk to them and when I shouldn't talk to them, and then it causes me not to even reach out to them. Does driving a vehicle give you anxiety? Not anymore. It used to give me a lot of anxiety when I first started driving. I used to also say, why would I ever want to drive a metal death trap to my mom anytime she tried to make me learn to drive. But it's pretty good now. I don't really have anxiety unless I'm in the middle of like a bunch of people. Are you afraid of exploring new places by yourself? Nope, I love exploring. Have you ever carried an object around with that made you feel comfortable? Yes. My dog's scarf. It stays in my car, wrapped around my steering wheel. Not steering wheel, my gear shift. And then the necklace that my stepdad gave me also stays around my gear shift. If I told you that I could guess your name correctly right now, would you believe me? No. Hmm. Well, based on this about me for so far, If I were to take a guess. Nope. Get wrecked, nerd. My name does not start with the letter M. That makes sense. Let's be real, there's literally no way I'd be able to guess your name just by your answers. That would be ridiculous. Besides, all you humans look alike to me anyhow. Does being around animals bring you a sense of peace? Yes. I have been called a Disney princess, and I don't know why. Do you sometimes believe your loved ones are lying to you when they say they care? All the time. You ever feel like you push your loved ones away? I do. Hmm. I'm going to have to stop you there. The truth that pours forth is incredibly clear. I hope that you're being honest for your own health. You can try to lie, but you'll be cheating yourself. I'd like to move on to the next phase of the test, a series of pictures to give your brain a rest. You're going to tell me what emotional response they bring out, which will show me what your mind is pondering about. So feast your eyes upon the art and let me into that precious heart. For starters, what emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? Depression. What word do you feel describes this picture the best? What do you think this picture is called? Very interesting. Moving on. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? I see. Next, we have this one. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? Noted. Take a look at this one. Ooh. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? That's peculiar. And how about this one? What word do you feel describes the picture best? What do you think this picture is called? I will make a note of that. And this here. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? Hmm. Yeah, I was drawn to numbness, so I'll go numb. What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? I see. Now this one. Hmm. Hmm. How about this? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? That's interesting that you say that. How about this one here? What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? I will make note of that. Now, this one. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? Interesting. Take a look at this. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture? What do you think this picture is called? Huh, we're almost done. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? Interesting choice. Let's see here. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? Alright then, just a few more. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? I think it might be depressed. What word do you feel best describes this picture? What do you think this picture is called? That's surprising. Almost finished. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? Very good. Last one. What emotion do you feel is most present in this picture? What word do you feel describes this picture best? What do you think this picture is called? I think that's about wraps it up. Your answers have been documented well. Deep into your subconscious they dwell. But I am not finished with you just yet. There are still some truths that have yet to be met. As a matter of fact, this is only the start. we will have a great deal of fun before we part. So let me challenge you on another level still. I will pick your brain until I get my fill. The next set of questions will test your conscience more, and again your honesty I do implore. Let us begin. One year, you're running a little low on funds to purchase presents around the holidays, so you decide to spend $1 and get everyone in your family a lottery ticket. You give each of them their own lottery ticket and wish them the best of luck. The drawing is held and one of your family members hits the jackpot, but it's someone who you don't really get along with and just bought a present for out of moral obligation. They plan to keep all the money for themselves as they feel like it was their ticket. How does this make you feel? Very well. Because, I mean, like, I did buy them the ticket, so it's whatever at this point. I can't force them to share it with anyone. It's their money. And what would you wish to do in this situation? I'd let them be happy with their earnings. And the long grand scheme of it, yeah, it was my ticket that I bought for them. But I gave it up. I could just literally have kept all of the tickets myself until it won or it didn't win. And then I'd give it up to all of them and say I tried. If the roles were reversed, you were given a winning lottery ticket. Would you share the profit with the money with your least favorite family member who bought you the ticket in the first place? Yeah, not all of it, but I would share some of it. Now you're walking through a forest and you come across a black suitcase. Inside the case, there's $1 million. Alongside the money, there's a bloodstained note with only one word written on it. The note simply says, "Don't." How does this make you feel? Hmm. So, what I might do is, I'm excited I'm about to be rich, but I'm not going to be the one to touch the money. And what would you wish to do in this situation? I would call the police and let them know about the situation, but then I would also call one of my friends first and then let them touch the money. And then they could then at that point bring it back to me. So therefore, any curses, hopefully, stay with one of my friends. And I did say friends and not my brothers, which is a different level of friendship for me. So if you're just a friend, sorry, bud. But if you're one of my brothers, just know we're getting rich. If the note wasn't covered in blood, would it change your decision at all? Yeah, it would. Because if it wasn't covered in blood, I feel like someone was either trying to scare me off the note and keep me off of the money. But I also feel like someone who is just playing a prank would not be ready to commit. Because the first thing you have to do is cut yourself or cut someone else to put the blood on the note or buy fake blood. And if you're doing all that, you're pretty committed to the bit. So if you're pretty committed to the bit, you either really want to warn me not to touch that or you just really don't want anyone to take your money. The lover appears in your room at night while you're alone and just about to fall asleep, and he tells you that he has a special one-time offer for you. In exchange for your soul and eternal damnation, he will let you choose from one of the three glorious bargains. He has not told you what those bargains are yet. How does this make you feel? I'm intrigued, but I don't actually think I'll take him. The devil then goes on to assure you that whatever you or not you believe him to truly be the devil, he surely is. And to prove his point, he demonstrates a magnificent magical prowess and drags you to hell for a split second before transporting you back to your bedroom. In that second, you can feel a lifetime of pain and suffering in the most unimaginable ways possible. He then goes on to tell you of his offer in exchange for your soul to see if you can strike a bargain. Which of these would you choose in exchange for your soul, if any? So for all three of these, I wouldn't choose it because just for that split second, that minute second that I was in hell, I could feel a lifetime of agony. And since I could feel a lifetime of agony in that 1 second, all the wealth and all the power in the world couldn't save me from that when I go to eternal damnation. And then the me never aging sounds like a hell all of its own, because then I have to worry about everyone else cutting me open as a science fair project, outliving all of my family members, and then bringing one person back from the dead. I don't have a reason to do that just yet. If the devil offered you a deal of some other kind, would you accept it in exchange for eternal damnation? Probably. A different deal could probably get me to sign away my rights to eternal damnation. I see. Civilization is about to come to an end as a plague sweeps the globe, turning everyone who perishes into a mindless zombie who hungers for living flesh. You watch as everyone you know becomes gravely ill and turns except 5 of your closest friends and family. How does this make you feel? I didn't do as much as I could. If you knew the zombie apocalypse was coming in 10 years from now and you could prevent it from happening, would you? Yes, of course I would, because the zombie apocalypse doesn't really help anyone. And if I can prove that I stopped the zombie apocalypse, then maybe I could get better respect around. You've been working at a company for 10 years, and you've been promised a very important and incredibly lucrative promotion. However, someone hired only a number of weeks ago has just been promoted to the position that you were promised. Your boss just simply tells you tough luck and that maybe one day you'll get the position, and that he had to promote the other employee as a favor for a friend. How does this make you feel? Betrayed. I can't trust my own employee, especially if they're going to do stupid stuff like that. You've also learned a few secrets about the company that could be disastrous if they were to escape, such as the fact that they haven't been properly reporting their income for the last decade. What would you wish to do in this situation? At that point, yeah. Threaten to report my boss for fraud. I wouldn't accept the promotion. I would probably ask to be put lower. I see. This is very interesting. You're home alone at night, cooking food in your kitchen. You turn around to realize that someone is watching you through your window in the darkness. They have their face and hands pressed up against the window and they make direct eye contact with you before turning and running out of sight, or on the other side of the house. How does this make you feel? I am ready to deal with them, whatever may come. And what do you think you'd do in this situation? So I'd check to see if everyone in the house was safe, but I'd also grab a weapon. So I'd say this is the first, and that is second. And the face you saw in the window was the face of a supernatural entity and not of a human being. Would your answers change at all? Nope. We are going down with a fight, if that's what happens. I am swinging on it. I'm going to present you with some potential scenarios, but I'm going to ask for more simplistic answers as a result. Here we go. You're not feeling all too well, so you decide to go to the doctor. The doctor runs a series of tests and gets back to you shortly after to announce some grave news. It turns out that you've contracted an incredibly rare illness and there's currently no cure for. This illness causes complete body paralysis within 6 months of contraction, meaning that in less than half a year from now, you'll be rendered unable to move, blink, talk, or any form of expression whatsoever. You will need to be kept alive on a feeding tube, but you'll never be able to communicate with anyone else ever again. Just being kept alive on machines in a vegetative state. Would you want to be kept alive in that state, or would you rather have the plug pulled when that happens? Pull the plug and let me die. How would you like to spend the last 6 months of your life while still mobile? You have to try to make everything good for the last, or as one of my favorite games has said recently, for those who come after. There are diseases out there that can put you in that sort of unfortunate situation. Does knowing this motivate you to do things you've never done before and pursue more off from life, or do you feel relatively unaffected by the knowledge that this could potentially happen to you at any point in time? It doesn't really change anything for me, if I'm being honest. Because the problem is, it hasn't happened to me yet, and until it does, I do not think that my brain will really factor it in. Noted. You have a pet dog whom you've raised since its birth. 3 years has passed, and it's the best dog you've ever had. You love it, and it's like your own child. One day, he runs away in the middle of the night, chasing after a wild animal in the darkness. You search everywhere for your dog, but no matter what you do, you can't seem to make any progress. About a month passes, and you still haven't seen any trace of your four-legged friend until one morning, you awaken to the sound of familiar barking. You rush outside to find that your elderly neighbor in his late 80s is out of his front lawn, joyously playing with your dog. He has named the beast Johnny, and him and your dog seem to be having the time of their lives. You rush over there, and hug your dog, and he excitedly licks your face. Your neighbor says, "Johnny's a good boy, isn't he? I lost him when I was just a boy about your age, but he's come back. Johnny has come back, and we're together again." Come to find out that your elderly neighbor is suffering from dementia, recently brought on by the stress and the heartache of losing his wife, just a couple of months prior to finding your dog. This dementia has caused him to believe that your dog, Johnny, is his old dog from his childhood coming back into his life to make him happy and keep him company. The dog seems to be in great shape, very happy and well looked after. You know that telling the old man that it isn't really his dog, that your dog would break his heart and crush him. Would you break the news to him that it isn't his dog and take Johnny home with you? Or would you let him keep the dog and choose to visit him daily to play and go for walks? Because my dog is there to help. And as long as he takes care of my dog, it doesn't matter. Because I can still see my dog, I can still play with my dog. Does this story make you sad at all? It makes me really sad, actually. It's really hard to think about, but when you lose an animal that you've cared for so long, it really does crush you on the inside. And since it's happened to me, I feel really messed up on the inside. And then when you compound everything that's happened recently, I really feel fucked up on the inside. But I understand that this will get better. Can you imagine yourself in the old man's position, being so alone in life and finding one thing that makes you feel less alone, and potentially having to face it being ripped away from you once again? I can. And that's another reason I didn't take the dog away. Next question. Let's say that you were viciously murdered by a serial killer and you fell for one of their traps as they lured you in and made you their latest victim. Now let's also say that you're given a unique opportunity in the afterlife as you return as a spirit to roam Earth. However, you're bound to two potential options and only two. You can either choose to haunt your assailant and make his life miserable, hopefully foiling his plan to kill in the future, and potentially save lives in the process, or you can choose to spend your time as a spirit amongst your still living family friends, guiding them in positive ways, making their lives better. So, I'm gonna maybe do the more one, because to me, keeping him from killing anyone else again, while also getting my get back on him, sounds like the best option. Oh, and since I'm bound to whichever option I choose until either the friends or family are no longer living, or your killer is no longer living, I will just choose to haunt my killer. Because living as a ghost and not being able to really interact with my family would be the most sad part. But if I haunt my killer enough, I can get that man gone in like 2 years and go back to my life. You think you have what it takes inside to drive your killer insane and push him over the edge? Yes. If he is a serial killer that I need to get rid of, I will push him over the edge. There is no question about it. Do you believe that this scenario is possible? Maybe. I don't see why it couldn't be. If this situation happened to a friend or family member and they were viciously killed, which situation would you rather them choose? hunt down the bastard that killed you. I'll be okay. Next question. One night, you go to sleep and get a good rest, and that feels like the best sleep you've ever had. You wake up in an unfamiliar room in an unfamiliar bed. You look in the mirror and you hardly recognize yourself. You look as though you've aged 20 years. There's a sticky note on the television screen that says press play, so you're obliged to know and hit the play button to reveal a message that has been left for you by all your friends and family that are still alive and well, though they all seem to be 20 years older as well. They explain that every single day for the last 20 years you repeated the same day over and over again. Due to severe head injury, your memory doesn't last more than 24 hours, so each day when you sleep, all recollection of what you took place 24 hours prior is wiped entirely. Your loved ones have made a video for you to let you have a say in your potential future. You have the option of either watching this video every single day so you know what's going on and you continue to progress your life, even though you won't have any recollection of it, or you can choose to continue living as you had been, repeating the same day over and over again, and living in ignorant bliss. Which would you choose to do? I would rather watch the video every day. Because if I watch the video every day, then I can probably live a semi-normal life while still enjoying things. And as long as I keep some recollection of video documentation and I like specifically have things ready for me, like just sticky notes, I can then at that point start working with myself to get to a better future where even if I don't remember what I did yesterday, I still did it, you know. I could get a job somewhere, set an alarm, wake up to that alarm and be like, hey, you got to go to job. I don't think I'll be able to do that job because, you know, I forget everything every 24 hours. But I mean, like, I feel like maybe I could do things that I enjoy. Maybe I could get some disability. Would you be upset if your family kept the truth from you for 20 years, even though they felt like it was for your own good? I would be very upset if they kept the truth from me for 20 years because that's time that I could have been trying to progress and do other things. You know? Yeah, it would suck, but if I have a trusted advisor with me or like a friend with me, I can then get through life in different ways. If your best friend was in this situation, would you make a video for them telling them the truth, or would you repeat every day exactly the same for them in order to keep them happy, never letting them know the truth? I will take note of your answer. I feel like they would want the same thing. They want to live their life, even if their life sucks. You've come to find through frantic digging in the attic and the reading of old files and newspapers that your parents are famed psychologists. You've also come to find that they aren't really your parents. In fact, they're not even related to you at all. From what you can gather through your new discovery, the story tells of a young child who developed psychotic tendencies and went into a trance before murdering their parents in a tragically brutal way. However, that child suffered so much trauma from the event of the loss of their parents. Once the trance had worn off, they repressed the memory of their parents' deaths, blocking it completely from their mind. Two psychologists took the child into treatment and performed studies against the child's knowledge, raising the child to be a fully functional adult while playing the role of the child's parents, to further gather data and potentially help that child avoid a terrible life in the process. You are that child. Would you resent your parents? No. Because if I lived a good life anyways, and they took their time to actually care and actually think about it, then I have to assume that I was actually chosen and loved. Much like when you're adopted by people. They chose you. Would you be grateful that they gave you a second chance at life? Yes. Would you feel betrayed by your parents? A little bit, yes. But I would still love and care about them. Would you confront your parents about the articles you found? Oh yeah, you're getting to talk to. If you were in your parents' position, would you do the same for a child in a similar situation? I would attempt it. Because I feel like due to the trauma, it's not their fault, especially if they did it in a trance. Interesting. I have one final scenario for you before we move on. The end of the world has come and gone. All there is left are post-apocalyptic soldiers roaming the land, combing through towns and laying waste to any survivors in their path in hopes of claiming their equipment for themselves, in order to survive this harsh, barren wasteland known as planet Earth. You get in good with a large colony of soldiers and spend about 6 months with them before they decide that you're not pulling your weight, and in order to save the very few food rations they have left, they exile you from the compound and send you out to fend for yourself. You decide to venture into a neighboring town in hopes of finding food that was left behind by raiders. It only takes you about a day and a half before you strike gold. A hidden underground bunker stockpiled to the brim with enough food to feed an entire colony for a year. Now you have a few choices to make. Would you go back to the colony and tell them about the bunker? Or would you stay in the bunker all by yourself? No, I'd stay by myself. Because that colony, fuck them. They exiled me. We're not a family. We're a company. Now, if there were specific people in that colony, I would probably try to tell them if I felt like I could really trust them. If you could choose only to tell some of the soldiers about the bunker and let them in so you could lead a new colony, but exile the soldiers who exiled you, would you do it? Yes, that's exactly what I would do. If you ever lead a new colony, would you build it based on savagery raiding, or would you build it based on sharing and compassion? At that point, I want to build more than a colony of family, in a sense, so sharing and compassion would be my goal. If you were leader of the colony that exiled you, except it was you who exiled someone else who wasn't pulling their weight, and that person just happened to find themselves in a similar situation where they found a jackpot worth of food in an underground bunker, but they refused to share with you in the colony, would you raid them and steal it for yourselves, or would you let them keep what they found? They can keep it. I made a mistake by exiling them, and they got lucky for it. Very interesting. Well, that wraps up this portion of the test. But I need some more from you, I believe, before I allow you to rest. A choice here, a choice there, which would you rather? Moral dilemmas abound from what I can gather. And you will answer clearly, crisp, and concise. Will you be selfish, or will your conscience a vice? In just mere moments from now, we both shall see the difference between who you are and who you wish to be. Let us begin. Would you rather abandon the person you love most or be abandoned by the person you love most? I would abandon them. Because I have been abandoned by the person I love most. And it hurt a lot. Would you rather have friends in high places to get you anything you wanted, but they didn't necessarily care about you, or friends who couldn't give you anything, but they feel a deep personal bond with you? Friends with a stronger bond, please. That would help me feel more fulfilled. Would you rather find 10,000, get to keep it for yourself, or find 20,000, but have to split it 4 ways with your closest friends and family? Split it. We all rich, bitch. And to be honest, that would just help everybody I know a lot. Would you rather cheat on your partner but never get caught, or know that your partner cheated on you but have no way of proving it? At this point, I'd rather get cheated on with no evidence to prove it and leave. I've been cheated on before, I can handle it. Would you rather get rich through illegal means or be poor but live an honest life? Rich but live a dishonest life. Because let's be honest here. I can be rich through illegal means, but I can still do nice things with my rich. Would you rather press a button that would kill your favorite pet or press a button that would kill your favorite family member? I would usually say pet lives matter more than humans, but since it's a family member, I would kill the favorite pet, sadly. I do apologize for my favorite pets, especially since I don't have any pets anymore. And whichever pet I get now, sorry, bud. But the human will come first for this one. Would you rather get fired from a high paying job or have to fire your friends from a high paying job? I'd rather fire my friends. Because at least then I know I can help my friend out. If I am the one who has to fire my friend, that means I'm above them. And then at that point, I would help them any way that I can, such as offering them help or a place to stay. Would you rather sleep with your step sibling or sleep with your best friend's partner? I don't like any of these options. Uh, I guess I have to say step sibling because if I slept with my best friend's partner, I'd feel horrible. And I guess if my step sibling wants to do it, it's less bad than breaking my best friend's trust, I guess. It's really fucking weird. But I guess my brain thinks the lesser of two evils isn't like uh yeah. Would you rather save your best friend from certain death or let 1,000 strangers die, or save 1,000 strangers and let your best friend die? Look, look. I know most people are gonna be like, save the most people, save the most people. And yes, I'm a Machiavellian, so I would probably save the 1,000 strangers. But I need those strangers to know what I did. And I need them to know that my best friend's a fucking hero because he's going down like a champ. Would you rather get free food for the rest of your life or rescue a starving child from a third world country? Look, I'm sorry, starving child from a third world country. With my extra money, I'm going to be able to do a lot more, and then I can save more children from a third world country. Would you rather be rich without family or poor but with family? So I'm going to assume that I can't make a family. So I'd much rather not be rich without a family. I'd rather be poor but with family. Would you rather have to steal food for the rest of your life in order to eat, or steal enormous amounts of money from wealthy but have to destroy the money immediately after? Hell yeah. Steal from the rich. Is it so I have to steal their money, buy whatever I need, and then destroy money immediately after? Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I'm wasting money, but I don't want to steal food because, like, I mean, the wealthy don't really matter too much. I'm gonna assume that I have a way to like not get caught. What I think, actually, you know what? No. Well, if I could prove that I don't have a way to get caught, I would do to steal the money from the wealthy. But since I could just work at like a gas station and steal the food, and then that would be stealing from the wealthy, still, because it's not my money. I could still eat there, or I could work at like a McDonald's and steal food technically there. Would you rather serve 4 years in the military during wartime or move to a third world country and never be allowed to return home? Serve 4 years in the military during wartime. I don't want to deal with third world countries because if you're still a third world country, there might be a lot of problems. And I kind of like my current country, even if it's currently crazy. Would you rather always be traveling 10 miles above the speed limit or 10 miles per hour below the speed limit? Gotta go fast, motherfucker. Would you rather never have sex for the remainder of your life or to have sex every day in order to stay alive? I'd be worn out eventually, but I think it'd be fun. Would you rather be addicted to hardcore drugs for 10 years but make a full recovery, or addicted to alcohol for the rest of your life? So I'm going to assume that I am just addicted. The addiction to alcohol is less severe, in my opinion, than an addiction to drugs. A lot of alcoholics can pretend to be normal at certain times. But if you're addicted to hardcore drugs, you can't pretend to be normal. I could probably go weeks without alcohol and just be irritable. And I would only have to do that if I couldn't handle drinking every now and then. And I could probably sit here and actually not wean myself off, but like wean myself, train myself to be addicted to a lesser extent to the alcohol. Like drink once every 3 days and just be angry that third day until, right after work, I get home and I crack open a cold one and play some games and vibe. So I get all of my drinking out in like a day, and then I just kind of work my way up, and it's like my light at the end of the tunnel. Would you rather live to be 200 years old in a perfectly preserved youthful body and have to watch your friends and family die around you, or would be 70 but die before your friends and family? So, 200 years. Lets me see like 4 generations of me. And I think I'm okay with that. Because there is an end. I can set my legacy up and work with it. But if I die at 70, I can't guarantee anything has actually been completed because 70 is quite young now. Would you rather sacrifice all your friends in order to survive or sacrifice both of your parents? So if I have to sacrifice all of my friends, that's a lot of dead people. And I don't think my mother would actually want me to do that. So I think I would have to sacrifice both my parents because that's not what they would want. They wouldn't want me to cut all of these younger people's lives short for them. Would you rather get acknowledged for work that you didn't do or work hard for the rest of your life but not receive any praise for it? Getting acknowledged for work I didn't do. Like, when it comes down to it, I hate the idea of working and never receiving any praise at all for it. That would drive me nuts. And that one time I could still make it work it. Would you rather punch a nun or get punched by a nun? I want to punch a nun. Would you rather lose all the money you've earned this year or lose all the memories you gained this year? I'd rather lose all the memories I've gained this year. Memories are amazing, but money is what you need. If I lost all the money I've earned this year, I would then at that point be in considerable debt and I wouldn't be able to make new memories. But I can always make new memories since it's the middle of the year. I can always continue forward. Would you rather flip a coin for a chance to win 20 or immediately win 10? I'd try to win a 20 on a coin flip because let me tell you, that 10's not gonna really do much. Now, if it's a immediate 10K versus an immediate a coin flip 20K or nothing, then I'm just gonna take the 10K. But $10 isn't worth it. Would you rather know how you die or know when you'll die? I'd rather know when I'll die at that point because if I know how I'll die, no matter like what goes on, I'm going to be very of whatever it is until I die. The only good thing is if it's like you died of old age, then I'd be like, oh, great. I don't have to worry about anything. But like if it's like hit by a car, then I at this point never want to leave my house. And I'll get hit by a car in my house still. Like at the age of like 90 or something like that. And so I mean like it's kind of the same thing. Knowing when I'll die will kind of make it a little bit easier for me so that I can, if I have a lot of time, be like, oh great, I have a lot of time. If I don't have a lot of time, I can then at that point pursue what I want to do before that date. Would you rather be blind but able to see crystal clear on the water or be deaf always? Hmm. You know, honestly, I think I'd rather be blind because, hear me out. If I'm permanently deaf, yes, I can see everything still. I can still, live a semi normal life. But, like, what's underwater? There's a lot of loopholes I could play with this one. Like, could I just put my head in, like, a fishbowl? And then I'm technically under the water, so I should be able to see, and I would just have to look like a fucking weirdo to everybody. But then the permanently deaf, there is no like benefit. There's this like, but I can see crystal clear underwater. So like I can go be a scuba diver and see perfectly. Would you rather give up all internet and social media but be able to travel the world for free, or have the best internet in the world for free but never leave your house? Travel the world but give up the internet. That makes perfect sense to me. Because when it comes down to it, if I can travel for free, I can try to get a different job. Now, if I can still work my job that requires internet and travel for free, then that's great. Would you rather walk barefoot across a bed of hot coals or walk barefoot through a pitch black snake infested corridor? Walk barefoot across hot coals because at least I know what's going on there. Would you rather be the judge who sentences people to death or the executioner in charge of killing them? I think I'd rather be the judge. I feel like being the executioner, yeah, you're just doing your job, but you have to actually see it happen. Would you rather have a witch cast a nasty hex on you so you'll always have bad luck, or be haunted by a demon intent on possessing you? Well, I'd rather have. Well, actually, you know what? I'd rather be haunted by a demon seeking possession because you know what? I could probably strike a deal with a demon since demons like to make deals. Demons and devils like to make deals. And in my opinion, if I can basically get it to agree to not hurt my friends or family and just make my life amazing, even if I don't get to live it, it's one of those things where there's a net positive and I could basically live vicariously through the demon that's possessing me. Cause I'm like, I don't think they want a shitty life either, if I'm being honest. They could have all the drugs and debauchery that they want as long as they don't hurt my friends or family. They can live a life of sin and murder and all that jazz as long as they make sure no one that I care about gets hurt. They can have my body with no repercussions in a sense. Would you rather be married to someone incredibly beautiful who doesn't find you attractive, or be married to someone whom you're not even remotely attracted but they find you incredibly attractive? I'm married to someone who I'm not attracted to. You know why? Because physical attraction is really important. It really is. It's really important in a relationship, but I don't want to sound cliche. But if you're not the most physically attractive, or like I'm not even remotely attracted to you, I can still find you to be pleasing to be around. And you want to always be around me because you're attracted to me makes that better. Because someone who I'm married to, who I am like nothing to them because they're not attracted to me, and I don't think they want to do anything with me. So there'd be intimacy lacking in that relationship as well. They'd feel forced to do it with me, and I feel like they would just go out and cheat. Well, I feel like I could work on it and not cheat because I would find other reasons to enjoy being around you. Would you rather work at a high paying job that you despise or a low paying job that you love? A high paying job that I hate doing. Would you rather walk 1 mile home wearing nothing but a pair of socks or be fully clothed but have to walk 100 miles to get home? Walk 1 mile home naked. Would you rather find $5 in your pocket or have to grab 100 out of a public toilet? Take the 100, bro. Public toilets, as long as they're not, didn't say used, it just said a public toilet. And I'm saying, if it's been used and it's just piss, fuck it. $100 is $100. Would you rather have 100 of your favorite books but never watch a movie again, or have 100 of your favorite movies but never read a book again? Movies. Movies. Would you rather always be 20 minutes late to everything or 2 hours early to everything? So, I'm going to say 2 hours early. Because punctuality will help me in almost every aspect of my life. And yeah, it will suck in the moment that I'm stuck there 2 hours early, but it's much better than showing up late. Because if I show up late to a job interview, they don't hire me. If I show up late to a date, I don't get dated. If I show up 2 hours early, though, I can just always go do something else in a sense. I didn't say that I can't, or I can just sit in my car and vibe. The only time that that would be awkward is, if you're like, hey, come meet me at my house, and then I show up 2 hours early to that. At that point, I would try my hardest never to go over to anyone's house, besides like to a party or like a friend get together, and then I would show up 2 hours early to help them prep. Would you rather find a dead body or be witness to a deadly assault? Find a dead body, because I cannot, for the life of me, say I wouldn't just run like a little bitch when I witness a deadly assault. Because let me tell you something: if I can't stop it and it's a deadly assault no matter what, I don't want it. If I can intervene, I'm okay with that. I'd rather have that. But like the chances of me getting turned into a body after watching you catch a body is higher than if I just stumble upon a dead body. If I find a dead body, I can call the cops and then that's it. Would you rather be able to change your past or see what the future holds? You know what? I'd rather look into the future at this point because I'm at a point in my life where I'm quite content with everything. So if I can look into the future, I can then make it, change it to what I actually want. Because all I have to do is look at the future and see what the winning Powerball numbers are. And guess what? I've now changed the future. Would you rather have one really great friend or 100 mediocre friends? I'd rather have one really great friend. Would you rather lose all of your teeth or lose 1 day off of your life every time you kiss someone? I'd rather lose all my teeth. Dentures exist. I can then also get implants. Because if I lose 1 day out of my life, every time I kiss someone, I kiss my mom on the forehead, I kiss the people I care about. I then at that point end up losing, let's say, a good 10 years of my life if I'm not careful. Kiss my wife goodbye every day. Guess what? I lose a day every single time I do that. And don't even be started during any intimacy. Like, I don't, if each time during intimacy it counts, having a makeout session, like that's the problem. Would you rather win the lottery and lose the ticket before you can collect your money, or see your worst enemy win the lottery? Hmm. I feel like I feel like there's actually a way to still win the lottery if you lose your ticket. I feel like there's actually a way. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, I think I'd rather lose my ticket because I think that there's actually I'm pretty sure there's some weird way that you could maybe say that you won. Would you rather find true love or have your dream job? So I know this is gonna be very, 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 very hypocritical of me, but from before, because I said I care more about family and being poor. But the problem with true love is she will die or I will die. And right now, at my current point, I'm too poor for a fairy tale ending. And I think that's what I would try to give to whoever I truly love. So I would need to have my dream job before I could find true love. Would you rather have a pause button for life or a rewind button? Rewind. Rewinding things would be a whole lot better. Would you rather drown to death in gasoline or be boiled to death in water? Let me drown in gasoline. Drinking it will get me killed faster than being boiled to death in water. Would you rather make a new friend every day or get $100 a day for doing nothing but never have friends again? Hmm. How much money is that? That's $700 a week, right? Hmm. Mm. I feel like yeah. So I'm gonna say this one, and this might go against my current thing. But if I got $700 a day, and then I still worked a normal job, I would be making bank every month because $100 a day is like 36,000, right? 36K, right? Yeah, 36,000. So that's just from sitting there doing nothing, literally, and that could go to food, that can go to anything. So I could okay, as long as that being friendless doesn't count like a wife. Would you rather die to save your family or sacrifice your family to save yourself? I'd rather give myself my life to save my family. Would you rather always be hated by those closest to you for something you didn't do or have hurt everyone you care about but they'll never find out it was you? Look, I've already been hated for something I didn't do, and that shit sucks. So I'd rather hurt everyone I love without being blamed. Because I'm like, being hurt is different than being hated all the time, especially for something I didn't do. When it's for something I didn't do, it really makes me hate them as well, and I don't like that. Would you rather sleep with your worst enemy or sleep with someone who you know has many incurable STDs? I'd rather sleep with my worst enemy because the incurable STD ridden person is not gonna be any helpful for me because at least my worst enemy, I'm not gonna get every incurable STD in the world, bro. Because look, hate fucks are okay. Would you rather only eat food you don't like or give up all liquids except for water? I'd rather give up all liquids except for water. Because the problem is, Food is the thing that matters to me. I can enjoy almost all food with water. When I go out to restaurants, sometimes I just get water anyways. Yeah, it would suck, but does that count for broth in foods? Does that count for soups? I would assume so, but since it's specifically talking about uh, all liquids, I will say that it counts soups and broths. So I can't have my ramen, but I can still have my curry. And at that point, I can also have some really weird things like probably like slushes because it's not technically a liquid. I could also probably fuck around and be like, oh yes, let me eat Jello since it's not a liquid, and that would be a lot of flavors for me. Would you rather always listen to music at max volume or always listen to music just above the lowest volume? Look, bro, give me my tinnitus. I already have it, so fuck it. Let's listen to everything at max volume. Well, actually, if it's just music, I think I can listen to it at the very low volume. Because I think I'd be okay with listening to only podcasts at max volume and things like that. Would you rather meet your hero and find out that they don't like you, or never meet your hero at all? I'd rather never meet my hero, because the idea of meeting them and then be like, oh, you a bitch, bro, would be crushing to my ego. Would you rather never have a pet for the rest of your life or never have friends for the rest of your life? I'd rather never have a pet because I'm currently petless, which makes me sad, but my friends make it bearable. Ugh. Would you rather live in excruciating pain for the rest of your life or live pain free but everyone you know and love live in excruciating pain for the rest of their lives? Look, bro, I'm gonna put this the nicest way I possibly can. I would take the pain myself and I wouldn't be living for too much longer. I'm not gonna put everyone else through that. Thank you for answering my questions. But we are not done yet, for we have made it through many categories except for one. These final questions will be from deep within. I want to see your soul. I want to see your heart to beat quicken. I want to learn all you know. I want to see what makes you think. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know your darkest truths. I want to know what makes you sick. I want to expel the truth from yourself. I want to feed on your precious fate. I want to learn all of your love and bathe in all of your hate. So, one last time, we sit together as we wait for the final revelation. These are the last questions I have, the last examination. Take your time, do think hard, savor every moment dearly. For when I am finally finished with you, you will see it all ever so clearly. And here we go. Choose one of these words that you feel resonates with you in this very moment. Choose one of the words that you feel resonates with you most in this very moment. Do you ever lie to those who are closest to you? All the time. Have you ever hurt someone with whom you don't know didn't deserve it? Yes. Have you ever lost your temper to know you shouldn't have? Of course. Have you ever intentionally hurt an animal? No. Have you ever blamed someone for something that you know they didn't do? No. Have you ever abandoned a pet? No. I would never. Have you ever abandoned a loved one in their time of need? No. Have you ever stolen something from someone that you cared about? Yes. Ever broken something to spite someone that you cared about? No. Not that I cared about. Have you ever played the victim in a situation even though you hadn't been wronged? No. But I have been on the opposite end of that recently. Have you ever had romantic feelings for someone who wasn't your partner while you were in a relationship? Yes. Have you ever wished for death of someone who had wronged you? Also, yes. Have you ever wished for the death of a loved one? No. If you knew that writing someone's name on a piece of paper could instantly cause their death, would you write down anyone's name? Death Note. Hey, 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 Rainier, Sake. Rainier, Rainier. Yes, yes, I would. Do you feel like you could spend more time with your loved ones than you currently do? Of course. Have you ever owed someone an apology but refused to apologize to them? Not that I know of. I apologize whenever I've wronged someone, or they feel that I've wronged them. I'll even apologize when I don't feel like I've wronged them, as long as it makes them feel better. Do you ever regret worrying too much about things you can't control? Yes, all the time. Do you ever feel like your negativity brings other people down? No. Do you ever regret not standing up for yourself when you've been wronged? I do. I regret it. Do you ever feel like you let others influence your decision making too much? Yes, all the time. Do you ever wish that you lived a more honest life? No, not really. I'm pretty honest. Has your dishonesty ever caused someone else to suffer? No, not that I know of. Have you ever had someone leave your life where you had the chance to tell them something important? Yes. Do you ever feel like you prioritize people in your life that are unworthy of your time? Recently, yes. Do you ever feel like you prioritize your own wants before those who need you most? No. Do you ever feel like you spend too much time working towards something you're not truly passionate about? I did. I'm gonna hopefully change that soon. Do you feel like you're living up to your full potential? No. Do you ever let fears stop you from pursuing things that you truly want? All of the time. Have you ever refused to try something because you were afraid that you would fail? Mm-hmm. Have you ever been attracted to someone but refused to let them know because you were afraid of being rejected? Yep. Do you ever feel as though you're chasing the wrong things in life? Yep, I did. Did you ever feel like you spent so much time planning for the future that you ignore the present? I think that's what caused a lot of the problems. I really do. You feel like your friends and family like you more than you like them? Oh, yes. Have you ever loved a pet more than your family? Yes. Do you ever make up excuses to go out of going to an event instead of just telling the person who invited you that you just don't want to go? Yes. I'm sorry, your event is not what I wanted to do. My social battery is drained. By Do you ever feel like you spend more time with technology than you do building stronger bonds with your friends and family? Yes. Have you ever defended someone that you shouldn't have? Yes. Like, oh my god. They tell me I shouldn't have defended them. Do you sometimes have a hard time admitting when you're wrong? Yeah. Do you ever place the blame for your personal failures on someone else or something else? No. Have you ever accused someone of something with no real evidence to back it up? Yes. Have you had sex with someone whom you should know you shouldn't have? Yes. Have you ever had any kind of relationship with someone whom you know you shouldn't have? Also, yes. Have you ever let a relationship degrade because you were afraid of being the one to break up with someone? Yes. Do you ever feel like you could take better care of your own health? Recently, yes. But I've been going to the gym, so I'm doing really good lately. Have you let someone else take the blame for something that you did? Yes. We were all kids once. Have you ever required something that you didn't really want just because someone else wanted it? Yes. Do you ever feel like you are not living up to others' expectations? Yes. Ever walked out of someone's life without any explanation? Not that I know of. Do you ever feel like you focus more on the negative aspects of your life and what you don't have rather than being grateful for what you do have? Sometimes, yes. Have you ever witnessed someone being wrong but didn't have the courage to stand up for them? Not that I know of. And finally, do you feel like you're a good person? Yes. Very interesting. That concludes the ending to your examination. In your mind, I have dug myself a hole. I will analyze your answers very carefully. Now it's time for me to gaze into your soul. This is preposterous. This simply cannot be. I have expected every potential outcomes, but yours seems to have even evaded even me. I was prepared to tell you of your fate, to play upon your fear, to break the worst of news to you, to plant the seeds of doubt within your ear. But as I've asked you to be honest with me, I must in turn be just as honest with you. For as much as I wish to lie, I am forever shackled to truth. From what I can deduct from you deep within, from everything you've shared with me, in return I shall share this with you. This is what I see. One word describes you more than any other. That word is talented. Personally, I think you're more talented than you realize, and I think you're more talented than anyone else realizes as well. If you just spend a little bit less time in your own head, you might get a lot further. You are by far your own worst enemy. You need to seriously cut that shit out and start trusting your natural talents and abilities more. No one knows you better than you, however, you must pay heed to this warning. You're way too overcritical of yourself at times, and it can lead you to breaking yourself down way further than you ever should. If you're not careful, you can ruin your entire potential to be successful in life just by not paying attention to when you need to self reflect and when you give yourself the credit you deserve. Start being more positive. You'll do just fine. Your secret word is talented. Remember this word. This will come in handy. The test is about you. The reflection in your darkened screen, the one who seeks the answers. The person who seeks answers. More than being about the answers, the test is more so about the questions. It's about making you think. It's about encouraging you to open up and admit that you're human. Just as human as everyone else. The test is about unity. The test is about compassion. The test is about bringing people together and showing the world we're not so different after all. Look at all the secret words that have been left in the comments. Look at all of the thousands of people who are just like you. We all feel so lonely sometimes. We all feel flawed. We all feel pain. But that's because every single one of us is human. The world judges one another based on so many variables, but they're the most hypocritical set of variables imaginable. We judged each other and are judged ourselves by our peers who do the same exact shit that they judge us for in the end. And we judge them for too. You feel flawed because you are flawed. You feel afraid because you have the right to be. You feel overwhelmed because the world is overwhelming. Depression is overwhelming. Anxiety is overwhelming. Our problems are overwhelming. Suicide is an epidemic. We are losing loved ones before their time, and any one of us can fall on the hardest times of our lives at any given moment. We can lose everything we know and love instantly, unexpectedly. But one thing that we are not is alone. You are never alone. We're all flawed because we're all human. We're all scared because we're all human. We all fight these battles every single day because we're all human. But you never have to feel alone in your fight. Look at all the secret words that have been gathered that match yours. Look at all the words that don't match yours. Perhaps those people are going through struggles that you have yet to experience or know nothing about. And perhaps some others know not of yours either. But don't judge those who are struggling. Help them, just as you wish to be helped in your time of need. Don't be afraid to ask for help and reach out to those who are. Everyone is suffering. Some of us just suffer quieter than others. We are all in this together. This test series has helped bring so many people together and make so many people feel less alone. We've read your comments, and others are free to do as well. We've read about how these games have helped you. We've read about how much positivity they spread. We've read about how many people say their lives are forever changed, and I'll tell you one thing. If even one life was saved in the process of this social experiment, then it was worth conducting. And every single one of you that left a comment is a hero. By leaving comments, you help spread the message out to others. You've helped spread a positive light in a very dark time for so many people, and those people have you to thank for it. There are so many people in this world who do nothing for others, and will continue to do nothing for others. They won't lift a finger to help others around them because they don't understand that someone is suffering just as much as they are. They are too afraid to open up about it. But not us. But we've all opened up quite a lot, haven't we? We were brave enough to answer these questions that so many people fear admitting to. We were brave enough to take a chance and leave a secret word as a symbol of our participation. And for that, Random Studios would like to thank you by not only placing your name in the credits at the end of this game so the world knows of your good deeds in spreading the world and participating, but we've also got another surprise for you. Everyone who has left a comment on our titles and continues to do so on future titles will be put in credits of our new massive project that we've been working on. But that's not the good part. We'll also be going through and selecting names for those who leave comments on all our titles and putting their names right into the actual game and storyline, whether it be a special item, a piece of lore, a character named after them, and much more. You contributed your time and energy and helped others in need. We want to make sure you're commemorated for your efforts to get admiration you deserve. As far as your secret word goes, your secret word will play a pivotal role in our new project. You'll plug your secret word into different parts of your journey when they are requested of you. They will also alter the game in a very unique way, set for your specific words. This is an RPG where every choice matters, where every decision you make changes something about your session. This is an RPG that focuses on every human emotion and the decisions we make, and how those decisions make us feel. Keep an eye out in the future for our main project, Chasing Demons, where every NPC from all of our titles will be represented with a storyline, and the world will get to see how they all tie together. You help shape it, you help make it what it is. And we will be sure to continue to add more and more players into the lore and gameplay as we read more and more comments left on our titles, all the way up until its official release. And again, to commemorate those who participated across all our titles, we regret selecting names from all of our titles. Thank you so much for everything you've done for us and everything you continue to do for the world. We greatly appreciate your feedback and support. We've read every single review and comment left for us. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for playing, and thank you for contributing with your secret word to our projects. If any of these games even save one life, it was all worth it. That means you're part of that. You're part of saving someone's life. Most people will live their lives never having done something special like that. Even if you didn't particularly find anything useful yourself from the test series, just by spreading the word, you've helped others who do find something beneficial from the series, who really could use your help in their time of need, as shown in the plethora of positive inspirational comments left on the series as a whole. So thank you for spreading the word and helping so many people who really truly need it. Some will go their entire lives living selfishly, never lifting a finger to help someone else unless it personally benefits themselves. I'm sure you've met some people like that in your lifetime, and that's okay. There's a place for all types of people in the world. We need people like that to create balance. We need the selfish, we need the selfless. We need the good, we need the bad. We need the happiness with the sadness. We need it all in order to appreciate about what we have had and what we don't have. But these games have helped people, and that means you've helped people. If you've left a comment, you are part of this. If you continue to leave comments, you continue to be a part of this. If you share this, you've helped someone. If you don't believe me, take a look for yourself and read some of the words people have left for the rest of the world to see. Look at the joy and the positivity you help spread throughout the world in such a dark, dark time where people are sick and dying. People are surrounded by both differences and indifferences. The one thing we all have in common is that we're all human inside. It doesn't matter where we come from, how we grew up, what we've been through, what our opinions and preferences are, and what we enjoy. We dislike, how we judge, and are judged in the end. We're all human. We all feel. We all have the same thoughts, the same feelings and emotions, and every person living amongst us has their own lives. Each person is the center of their own universe. Every individual has their own family and their own friends, their own circle. They mean something to the world. They mean something to someone, even when they don't feel like it, they do. Trust me, you do. Thank you for playing, for being a part of this. Thank you for encouraging other people to be part of this. Thank you for spreading something so uniting in such a divisive world. Thank you for opening up your heart and your mind in order to create acceptance, not only for everyone else, but for yourself as well. Even our differences, we aren't so different after all. We're in this world together. Let's make it a happy stay for everyone. We would also like to give a very special shout out to Markiplier and his community for supporting us through our other titles. It has really meant so much to us as a longtime fan, and the amount of joy you bring to the rest of the world through your content and community supports is second to none. I do think Markiplier is nice. Thank you for being you, and really hope you get to punch a nun at some point in the near future. I want to punch a nun at this point. I do. I want to punch a nun. We genuinely hope you give the test Trevor a chance, as we spent countless hours of passion development making it what it is, and we hope after playing it that it means as much to you as it does to us. We've also recently finished the 7th installment of the test series, The Test Reality Check, which is now available on Steam. The Test Reality Check is a standalone game, so you can jump right into it immediately without having played the rest of the titles in the series. In the meantime, we would like to recommend our title called The Advisor to you. We provides a great opportunity for player/developer interaction and allows players to cast their votes on where the story should head. It's a choices matter style of game, and that's never been done before, as you, the player, are responsible for how the story is written in the future episodes. We have played that, so it's good. Thank you for listening to us pour our heart out about our passion projects. We just put a lot of time and effort into what we build, and we just want the same thing that everyone else wants in life: a chance. With that being said, keep a hold of your secret words. You're going to need them for when you're chasing demons. I will peel the truth from your flesh like petals from a blackened rose. She loves me. Don't do this. She loves me not. She loves me. Please, I beg of you. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. She will never love a monster like you. So let her choice take its toll. And in her cell, may she rot. Ooh, I would say yes, but I'm on that list, but I don't want to look at that list. That's a long list. And with that, that is the test trilogy completely done. We have already played The Advisor, so if you like that, go ahead and see what that is going on with that one. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you feel up to it. Don't ever feel like you have to do it. I'm never going to be upset if you don't. I would like to talk to you guys about anything if you're watching, but if not, hey, no need. But as always, keep it sassy and keep it classy, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night, and have a good time. Bye-bye.